Hello guys, welcome back. Well, I should really be saying welcome back to me, because this might be your first time here, but I've had a bit of a hiatus on YouTube. I've been too busy to do any little films. Must say I've not had a lot of people bashing down my door, so get watching them. Anyway, I have been busy. I've been doing craft fairs this year with my daughter, and I found it quite enjoyable. I did a series of bird paintings the other Christmas in a book, and I printed a load of them out, and what I've done is I've put some gold flake on the prints, as you can see behind me, and I've been doing only 5 prints per bird, and you know the gold flake is different on each one, so you know it makes it a unique print on its own. I've also started doing another, get this off my able assistant. I've been starting another little project book with a few other birds in there with some different backgrounds, and I'll be printing them off, and also on the originals I will be putting some gold flake on as well, so you know there's that to do. Today's video, what I was thinking is come back in the studio and do an oil painting. I've not done an oil painting for a little while, so I thought I'd try out this box type canvas. It's not even a canvas really, it's a box type panel that I'll get this off my able assistant again. I got this from Hobbycraft, which is in England. It's like a crafter's type shop. It's not as good as what you get in America and a lot of other places, but yeah, they're okay. They're okay. They get some good deals, and I've never painted on anything like this before. It's very smooth. It's got a very smooth texture, as you can see. So I thought I'd give it a try. I haven't got to frame it then if it does turn out okay. What I normally paint on, sorry for the ers, what I usually paint on is these type canvas boards. They're made by PBO, and I quite like them. You know, they're quite a nice little board to paint on actually. But I thought I'd give something else a bit of a try for a change. The painting that I'm going to be doing today is based off of another painting that I did a few years back, when I did a whole series of small paintings, one a day, for a January, just to get back into painting, because again I had a bit of a hiatus from painting, like you do. All these people that can paint every day, produce wonderful work every day, produce fantastic stuff for Instagram every day. Oh, I applaud them people, but some of us actually have to go out and go to work, and you only get a couple of hours at the weekend because you've got to cram everything you can't do during the week into the weekend. This is a sort of channel that I'm going for, is for people like myself that find it difficult to really progress with your art. Anyway, this is the painting that I did. It was a still life of a couple of pots of my pomade for my hair, and I'm going to be doing another pomade pot painting today. So I've got my paint set up, I've got my light on my paint set up. I've probably bored you rigid already. Plenty of worms. I might edit them out, I might not, you never know. You can never tell on this channel. That's why I'm not a glitzy, lovely, lots of lights channels. Anyway, as I make my way over there, I'll give you a little panorama of some of the work that I've got up behind me, just to show you what I've been doing basically. I don't usually keep them up like this, but I thought for the sake of this video I'll just chuck a few bits up, do a little sweep, and then we'll get into the painting. Anyway, I'll see you in a minute. So, okay, I've put some tape around the edge of the panel, okay, just to protect it, because I can be a bit of a mucky pup sometimes. So let's get to it then, shall we? Okay guys, there's my setup. That's what I'll be painting. There's my paints all set up down there already. And what I've got out is I've got a bit of ivory black, I've got a bit of cobalt blue, a little bit of ultramarine, cerulean blue, Naples yellow, cadmium yellow and lemon yellow and titanium white. There's a selection of my brushes. Okay, make sure that's in focus. Right, okay. What I'll do is I'll start off with a bit of an envelope. Just to see where this will place. A little room at the bottom here. I may scrub that and not conventional way to scrub it, but there you go. Who cares really? I'll do it from here, I suppose. This is the bottom. There. And the shadow can be going off the panel. I think. Okay. Now I find, because I do a few workshops and a few other demonstrations and the like most, you know, like most of us amateurs do really, just to earn a bit of pocket money so we can afford to buy some paints. If we, to be honest, if we relied on our wages to buy the paints and pay all our bills at home, we'd never paint anything. So, you know, anyway, what I find a lot of students doing and a lot of people doing, especially when they've just started to paint, is they want the first brush stroke and the last brush stroke to be a work of art, whereas it doesn't really need to be. I mean, this to me, this scribble, usually I'd be quite happy just to leave that, but you know, might not be to everybody's taste. But yeah, so that's one thing. If you are just starting out painting, don't think that all your brush strokes and everything has got to be an absolute work of art, because it really hasn't. Okay, just play. That's all I can say. That's all I can suggest really, is just play. Move it about. Use your fingers, use your hands, use anything. You know. As usual with these videos, I'll probably sort of like stop talking. I won't put any music on. I'll let you hear the noises of the brush whilst I'm not talking. But then again, you never know. I might put a bit of music on. We'll just see. I can't rule it out. At the moment, I'm just putting in my phases of darks and lights and that. It all blends in, as you can see. But don't worry about that. As long as you know where your map is, that's the important thing. Okay, is you remember where your map is and what you're doing. And to me, I think that's okay for my shadow parts of it. I know this part here is dark, but I don't want to just end up with one big dark blob and be a little bit lost. At least at this level I can actually see where I am, what I'm doing. And yeah, it looks as okay if it's, you know, it's an okay part on the pass. Anyway, I'm now going to clean my palette and do my mixtures. I'm going to do my mixtures first. So what I'll do is I'll switch this off and I'll do my mixtures and then we'll get back to it. Okay, what I'm going to start off with is putting a few light passages in. I'm using a Catalyst by Princeton. It's got an angled edge. I like these paint brushes, they're very nice. But don't worry about, if you are beginning, don't worry about what other paint brushes people are using, because it doesn't make any difference at all, to tell you the truth. Just find a brush that you like, experiment with all different brushes, and that's because that's the way you will find out what brush you like. Don't let other people tell you this is the best, that's the best, and especially don't believe the hype of all the really expensive brands, because it doesn't make any difference at all, I must say. I've used a lot of the expensive brands and I must say, yeah, some of them are nice. They've got some nice brushes in there, but they're not all great, so don't fall into the hype. Yeah, just find a brush that you like. There's a couple of few brushes that I do like that I've found over the years, but as I'm not paid advertiser, I won't say what brushes they are, but I know I've just told you this one, but this one's the one that's going to be mainly in the shots, I should imagine. So, you know, people are always a bit inquisitive. As I say, I'm just putting down some light strokes just to see what this panel's like, really, because as I say, I've not used these panels before. Very slippery. I'm not too sure whether I'll get on with it or not. We'll see. Even if I don't, and I end up with a really bad painting, you'll still see it on YouTube, because I put my mistakes up just as much as anything that does work. Anyway, I will probably be speeding things up a little bit in points, because you don't hear me rattling on about rubbish. If you do, just like drop us a line, just say, yeah, John, we do want to hear you going on about rubbish, so get on with it. I'll just pick some of the grey out for what I was going to be using for the background shadow, just to see how that works on here. I'm just putting big shapes in, as you can see. You've probably seen it on lots of other videos. Go big shapes first, and then put in your detail, and that is basically the best way to work, really. And as I say, don't worry about whether it's a mess or not, because if it's a mess, that's fine. Things go through ugly stages. You might notice I've got a jumper on now. It's starting getting a bit chilly in my studio. So I went and made a cup of tea. I have put my little gas heater on that I've got in here on now. It's only a little thing. It's quite a new purchase, because electricity prices are just ridiculous. We're all held by we're all held at gunpoint by bloody electric prices at the moment. So, you know, if you can get away with it, get yourself a nice little gas heater thing, little camping one. That's what I've got stood behind me at the moment. So you might see the old jumper sleeve disappear at some point in the paintings when it gets a little bit warmer. I don't really clean the paintbrush too much in between strokes. If you get a little bit of paint left over from what you was just doing, don't really matter. Adds to it. Just laying in a few marks here and there. I'll probably go over them. Some of them will disappear, some of them will stay. It all depends what I like, what I don't like, really. have actually got black in this mix, and I know you're always told don't use black, and I've said it in some of my other videos. If they don't want you to use black, they wouldn't produce it. And if black was such a bad colour, Zorn wouldn't have used it, you know. And people don't say, oh, he's a rubbish painter because he used black. You know, I don't know, it's a lot of the time it's just art snobbery when you hear this sort of thing. So, you know, if anybody says to you, don't use black, I'll just tell them to do one. It's as simple as that, really. I mean, oh, really does annoy me, because it does put a lot of people off. Really does put a lot of people off. I don't like that bit of bit down there, so I'm gonna wipe that off. Well, you might have noticed the sound went a little bit different on there. Then my voice, that's because my voice recorder, well, it's not a voice recorder, I'm using my phone for voice recording, and I did pause it and I forgot to put it back on. You know, I haven't got all of this technical stuff going on with these videos. I'm just doing it for a bit of fun in my shed at home, just to hopefully help people out. As you can see, I'm using this tissue, and it's it can help to mould your painting, to do it like that, you know, just to move things about. If you're not happy with something, just move it about, don't worry about it, you know. God, it's just slippery, this stuff. I'm really not too sure whether I like this. I will soldier on, we'll see what goes on. Right. I might end up loving it, you never know. Don't give up. As I've said before, everybody's paintings go for a really ugly, horrible look for a little while, until they start looking okay. So don't you worry about that. I've been doing these videos for a little while now, and I still haven't got all this focusing business on my phone. I'm not actually using my phone. Ignore that bit. On my camera, I haven't got. It doesn't matter how I do my setup. It doesn't seem to be the way I want it to be. I can carve that away. Yep, that'd be okay. Carve that away. There's a big bit of area here, as you can see. That's a bit too big. I'll probably carve that away across there like that. So it'd probably be that bit carved away. Like that, something like that. Okay. Right, I will clean my brush now, because I'm going to be putting a tad bit of backgroundy white. That's another thing. Ooh, don't put your whites in too soon, because it will taint all the other colours. Don't use black. Don't use white. Oh dear. Lordy. It's a wonder anybody does any painting at all, really, isn't it? Anyway, don't listen to what anybody says. That's why I don't really give you instruction on this channel. This channel is basically me painting, having a chat, and just getting on with it. Just getting on with stuff. And as I say, I'm getting back to the reason I've not been doing anything on my channel just lately. It's mainly because as I say, I've been doing craft fairs with my daughter. She makes these bandanas for cats and dogs, and you know, all different sizes and that, to fit all different size animals, and she's doing very well at it, and she wanted to do these craft fairs, so I thought, well, I'll keep her company. I won't just drop her off and leave. So I did a few prints, some prints of my bird paintings that I've been doing, and yeah, it's been going quite well. And then I discovered a bit of gold leaf, and as I say, I'll put some of that on my prints, and I'll only do like 5 prints of each of these birds, so as not to just do loads of the same sort of stuff. But anyway, so like I mainly started doing the craft fairs for my daughter, and yeah, I'm enjoying it, I must say. I am enjoying it. And but the thing is, I've not got time to do these YouTube videos as well as the craft fairs. I just haven't got the time. Because I'm not a full-time painter, I have to do it when I've got some downtime from work. Most of us, when you've got downtime from work, you've got all the other stuff that you've got to do for living in a household. So it is really difficult. All these other YouTubers that seem to be able to knock out a decent video as often as they do and still live their life, oh, hats off to them. They're the videos that some of these influencers need to make, is how you go about doing that. Because I haven't got a clue. Let's a little step back, see what's going on with all of this. Yep, it's taking shape. As you can see, there's some beautiful colours coming up here. I'm not going to stay too completely true to all of these because it's a painting at the end of the day, and the paint I'm just going to let help me make a painting, if that makes any sense at all. Yeah, the slickness is a bit odd. I know a lot of people like a slick canvas or whatever, but it's a bit of alien territory to me at the moment, so I might have to do something I don't usually do, is step back for a bit, let it dry off a little bit. I don't usually do that, especially when I'm doing something, filming it. I just like to do it within an hour or so. I used to do plein air painting, and that was how you got around that a lot of the time, is if you can get it done in an hour, you know, power to the old elbow. You know, that's because the light changes so much. But that's the beauty of working in the studio, is your light doesn't really change. Yeah, I'm quite liking some of these colours. That I don't know whether it's picking them up, but there's some nice colours going on in the background here. I'll just keep building it up the way I am, just taking bits from here and there. I'm quite glad that I did put a little bit of that alizarin crimson into the shadow mix, because it's picking up the red quite nicely. I like it. Every now and again I step back, I look at my painting, I look at what I'm painting, and I also look at the camera screen, because you can tell a lot just by looking at the camera screen as well, which is a little trick that I sometimes do when I'm painting, is I'll take a photo and I'll have a look at the photo, because it's like looking at it with a fresh set of eyes, and you can really see a lot of glaring mistakes that way. So there's a little tip, same as using a mirror, same as turning it upside down, but if you've got a camera on you, take a photo, have a look at it in the photo, and it will show up a few mistakes or where you need to go in direction with your colours, because the camera can't see the same way as your eyes, because they're like a fixed focus and fixed aperture, fixed everything really, so you get to see it differently than what you would do with your eyes. So it's always a good little tip to do that. A lot of the time when you see me noodling about, just picking up colours and just scrubbing around, especially in the background like I am at the moment, that's my thinking time. I'm looking around a lot of the time at what I've done, where I've been on the painting, and what needs to be done. I'm thinking all the time like that, you know, and hopefully, as I'm not taking too much notice of what's going on in the background, it might produce a nice background for me. Like old Bob Rossi says, happy little accidents and all that lot, which is quite nice. Just trying to sculpt the shape of this tin, make it into something that I can actually see. Looks quite round, looks okay. It's January the 1st today. I've got the dinner on cooking, so that might actually give me the time to go in, let this dry off a little bit, and do what it needs to do. A little bit of baking of its own, basically, sort of like you know, making it a little bit more stable, so I can come back and work on it. Then that way I can see other glaring mistakes. I can see this tin needs a bit of a change here. I should imagine there's a few of you that have been seeing that. That's the thing, when I'm watching people's videos, you think, oh yeah, I can see that, how come you can't see that? And it is because we're not looking at, we're just looking all over. And as I say, I'm always looking at my camera monitor, and then I'm stepping back and just checking. These mistakes, they don't always present themselves immediately, which is why it is nice to walk off, do something else, come back, and then you go, oh my god, how come I didn't see that? Which is what happens quite a lot. It really does. I quite like the way it's going though at the moment. If this is your first time on this channel, well, very welcome. Please come back. I've got some, I must admit, I've got some quite dodgy videos on here. Well, not dodgy, but not too great. But I'm going to leave them on because it's showing my progression. Hopefully you can see where I've got a bit better. I've got digital stuff on here, bit of pencil. It is mainly oils and pastels because they are my first loves. It used to be pencil and charcoal was my proper first love. I do still love them, but I find it very difficult to be able to record doing those. I mean, I know there's guys, you know, that you can watch doing the pencil stuff that's, you know, they can record it quite well and do stuff, but a lot of these guys, they got production team behind them, and well, I just haven't got that sort of thing, so I just amble along, because the actual editing of these videos, it does take quite a while. Look at me moaning about everything. God, if it is your first time here, you'll soon clear off again, wouldn't you? All he does is moan, that old boy. All he does is moan. Honestly, I don't. I'm just talking nonsense to help me concentrate. Oh, I didn't like doing that. Why did I do that? See, I'm not concentrating. Completely change the shape of that tin then. It's all stuff that'll come out in the wash though, once we start putting the upper layers on. Because at the moment, I'm still playing about. I'm learning how to use this panel. Basically, that's what I'm doing. I'm learning myself at the moment, so do forgive me. Never worry about anything like that, because it'll all come out in the end. Right, I'm going to let this dry off for a little bit, so then I can tackle the rest of it with a little bit more confidence, because when I'm putting paint on here, it's just sliding. So I think with these panels, you do have to take a bit of a slower approach to it rather than going in, putting heavy paint on. There may be a way of doing that with these panels. If somebody does use these particular panels, please get in touch with me and tell me, you know, how you go about that. But I usually like doing these sort of things a la prima. That's all in one hit. So I'll just have to bite the bullet, have a little bit of a rest from it, come back a bit later. Could be after me dinner, could be tomorrow, not sure. But I'm going to walk away from this now and let it dry off for a little bit. Might only be for an hour. We'll see. I'll see you in a minute. Been away, I've had another cup of tea. I just thought I'd come back and see if I can continue before cooking the dinner, or finishing off cooking the dinner. Not really been using any additives with this oil. It's just straight from the tube, and I'm just now wiping out where I need to put some of the lettering. That's it, so I'm not slipping about too much all over the place. It's not going to be a realistic painting. It's basically an impression. I've got my other one down here just as a reference, just to make sure that I don't go too overboard with it. Just putting some highlights here where the metal banding is catching the light. Don't want to go too mad. This bit here, this little grey area that I've put in here, is going to be like a lady's face on the pot of pomade or pomade. It's all for the hair. It's one of my pomades I use to keep the quiff going. Okay, and what I will probably do is scratch in where the letters are before I put the letters in, because that way you don't actually contaminate what you've already done with your colours. So if I put some black on there, or a very dark colour there, that would have ruined what you've put on there. This way you're not actually putting any colour on, but you are mapping out. That's quite good because it's scratching back to the yellow underneath, which is what these letters are anyway. Right, okay, I'm going in to finish off my dinner. I will see you, by the wonders of editing, in about 2 seconds. So, okay guys, we're back. We're back after a week. 7 days has passed. This is quite dry now. And whilst I've been away from this, I've been thinking, what can I do? The panel is very smooth. It really lends itself for realistic paintings more than like what I'm doing, I think. So I'm thinking I might start putting really thick paint on. We'll see, it'll work. or it won't work, but we'll find out when I actually start putting some stuff on there. So let's just see how it goes. I might put a little bit of music on here, basically because you've seen the painting develop and me talking, and it's already quite a long video because I've already done the editing on it. So what I'll probably do is I may come in, have a chat every now and again, but I should imagine the last hopefully 10 minutes after it's sped up or whatever will be the end result, so we'll see. Anyway, let's get on with the painting, shall we? Well, I hope you made it to the end of the video. I'm not displeased with the painting, not absolutely pleased with the painting, but whenever I do things for the channel, for some reason I can't paint as well as I can when I've got no cameras on me. Don't know what it is, maybe it's a little bit shiny, so I don't know. Anyway, here it is finished. I've got the tape off, looks okay I think. I might do something else to it, I might not, you never know. But anyway, if you have made it this far, please come back. Please put a comment. I mean, if there's something you don't like about this video, tell me. If there's something you do like about the video, tell me, because it's the only way that I'm going to make my videos any better. So please contact me in some form. Subscribe, like, tell your friends, put an advert in the paper, watch John's videos, do anything, because I wouldn't mind getting above a few more of my subscribers down there. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you again soon. Don't take a notice of any of that rubbish. But anyway, hopefully I'll see you again soon. You never know, might do a pastel next time, might do a pencil, might do an ink. You never know what I'm going to do. That's why it's worth coming back. It's just not the same old drudgery, I promise you. See you next time. Bye bye.